Hi people, it's Archivist here. We are entering what some may call a bit of a gaming drought at the moment. The summer rarely sees more than a handful of noteworthy releases, although I find that MMOs can be very useful during this time, thanks to their engrossing nature. Normally I would turn to World of Warcraft in a time such as this, but instead I wanted to try something a bit different. After playing WildStar for a relatively brief period of time, I have already noticed 5 compelling reasons you may like to try the game out.
Number 5.
One of the first things I noticed about WildStar was how difficult the setting was to identify. There are elf-like creatures and sword-toting warriors, but at the same time there are also spaceships and laser blasters. What this results in is a hybrid setting which takes the best from traditional fantasy and space sci-fi. In this respect, the game is not like anything else as a whole, but borrows from everything else in the detail. A great example of this mix would be the mounts you can choose from. While there are raptors and war pigs, there are also futuristic high-tech motorbikes.
Number 4.
The customization options in WildStar are surprisingly large. Firstly, you've got your selection of classes. There's the melee-focused warrior, the range-based spellslinger, the psychic esper, the healing medic, the stealthy stalker, and the cunning engineer. You can also choose which race you want to be, my personal favourite being the Draken. Furthermore, you can modify the appearance of your avatar, and there are many options to choose from. As your character levels up, you can choose which powers to use and what paths to pursue.
Number 3.
The graphics in WildStar are not realistic, nor are they particularly technically impressive. However, the art style and performance are some of the best in the genre. The different regions around Nexus show off a full spectrum of colours, from the sun-scorched savanna to frozen fields. I appreciate that the cartoony style may be a put off for some, but keep this in mind. Games that take the photorealistic route often tend to age a lot faster than games with stylised visuals such as these.
Number 2.
The questing in WildStar is admittedly quite familiar, however there are certain variations on the traditional formula that keep the leveling experience interesting. For example, challenges will automatically follow certain actions that encourage you to either kill or collect a certain number of items for loot. There are also public events which allow multiple players to take part. Additionally, there are quests which will vary depending on which path you originally chose. For example, settler missions allow you to create small structures that improve the world. Traditional questing is also present, however many allow you to complete them via a communicator, rather than having to run back to a quest giver.
It's number 1.
WildStar's combat is by far its most appealing and advanced feature. Attacks in the game require aiming, meaning that precision must be considered at all times. Furthermore, heavy attacks require that you dodge out of the way. Dodging, by the way, feels very responsive, almost to the same extent as a hack and slash game. Also, each of the classes have an array of abilities to choose from, however you are limited to using a small number at a time. This forces the player to choose his or her strategy carefully. These different mechanics make the combat feel engaging on a level you simply don't normally associate with the genre. Those were 5 reasons you may like to try WildStar. Let me know if you're a fan of the MMO genre and whether or not WildStar has struck your interest. As always people, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time. Subscribe to the Archivist 42 channel for gaming top 5s, reviews and more.